As the drivers start their engines, we get ready for the first heat race here at Daytona. Top 15 will advance to the Daytona 500. We got 30 drivers in the field. Let's run through the field. In row 1, we have Michael Beeson and Colby Alves. Row 2, we have Dylan Young and Tori Travis. Row 3, Zachary Rogers and Andrew Rich. Row 4, we have Greg Lyons and Nicholas Samudio. Row 5, we have Benjamin Tilton and Logan York. Row 6 is Peggy Bowling and Peter Sands. Row 7, Ryan Shea and Eric Harala. Row 8, Sean Harple and Jim Morton III. Row 9, Allison Rogers and... I can't even tell it right now. Allison Rogers and Micah Kidney. That's row 9. Row 10, we have Nico Tringali and Benjamin Dion. Row 11, we have Philip Goldberg and your shootout winner, Michael Rogers. Row 12 is Tony Green and Michael Amato. Row 13 is Austin Alves and Nathan Rogers. Row 14, Brenda Rogers and Edwin Mendez. And in the last row, Alan Cavanero and Tony Vieira. So 30 drivers getting ready for 10 laps. Caution-free racing. They wreck. They'll probably end up in the last chance qualifier. 10 laps. Heat number 1 is underway. And Michael Beeson with a good start to the race. But 10 laps at Daytona, you could find yourself at the back of the field. It's all about luck really here. We have a 30-car field. They could definitely wreck in a 30-car field. We didn't see them wreck during the shootout at all, and we had 25 cars during that. But we saw them wreck in the last chance qualifier with only 30 cars in the pack at one point. So expect them to wreck here. Whoa! Michael Beeson putting a block on Dylan Young. Young almost probably would have turned the zero if he had any more momentum. Michael Beeson... And Logan York sticking his nose under the 3. Remember, top 15 drivers will make the 500. There is no champions provisional or anything. So it's just you got to race your way into the field, whether it be your heat race or the last chance qualifier. Every week, well, most weeks, we'll have 18 drivers miss out. Some tracks only allow 28 drivers, so like Mazda Raceway is going to only be a 28 driver track. Bristol Dirt will be a 41 driver track. Eldora is a 29 driver track. Those are the non-chase races that will have that happen, and that could be big if you make that race or not. Right now, Jim Morton III to the race lead. Ryan Shea behind him. Michael Rogers doing a really good job this week at Daytona. He won his heat race for the shootout. He won the shootout itself. As now he's inside to Ryan Shea for second. It's season 6, guys. 5 seasons down. Who knows how many left. Got college coming up, and then with what I'll be doing, I don't even know if I'll have time to do these races anymore, so this could be the last season or the penultimate season. I don't know. I might make it the penultimate season because I kind of do like the number 7. Anyway, for now, let's focus on the season at hand. Jim Morton III in the lead. Ooh, almost 4 wide back there for a second. So 4 laps down, 6 laps to go. And as Jim Morton III leads, let's see if we can find that 15th spot area. As it seems to be around here. Single file at the front mostly. There's Cavanero, Dylan Young, Jim Morton III. Still lead. Jim Morton III did pretty good in his heat as well. Well, he got the pole for his heat and the last chance qualifier. He did not make the shootout, but he has been doing pretty decent this week at Daytona. And by the way, a reminder, after the heat races, we go straight to qualifying, which will be at night, then the last chance qualifier. There's 5 to go. They're starting to single file it up. And there goes Cavanero to the inside. Nathan Rogers is down low as well. But Cavanero getting the draft from a Toyota driver, Philip Goldberg, in the 55. As it looks like Tony Vieira might be losing the draft here, as are some other drivers. But 4 laps to go here in heat number 1. They've been doing a very good job racing it clean. Nathan Rogers to the lead. Colby Alves making his way back up to the front on the bottom. It's all about timing. Where you start could also depend on your timing of when you get to the front. But we've also seen drivers stay single file here and win the race. We saw Michael Rogers took the lead on the first lap of his heat race for the Coors Light Shootout, and he never looked back. And now Colby Alves to the bottom. 3 laps to go here at Daytona in heat number 1. And what a story it would be if we had series champions be one of those 18 drivers that would not make the Daytona 500 field. This Daytona is going to be huge because it's a win and get in scenario. You only have to be in the top 40 in points. And I would hope that we will have every driver have at least one race heading to Las Vegas. Like after Las Vegas, we go Daytona, Texas, Las Vegas. I mean, everybody should at least make a race because those are all 42-car races. 2 laps to go, by the way, here in heat number 1. Samudio to the lead. Michael Rogers has made his way back to the bottom. And Michael Rogers might be setting himself perfect. Again, there's Sean Harple. They're running Penske truck rental scheme for the 500 weekend here. And they're in a pretty good spot to make the race. Anybody on the inside line right now is in a very, very good spot. You see Zachary Rogers in the 3-car. Oh, he's going to move to the middle, to the outside, back down to the bottom as the white flag is out here in heat number 1. Samudio out front. And you see anybody on the inside line is in very good shape here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I would say 15th is right around where Andrew Rich is right now. And Harple is going to make a move for the win here in his heat. He was not able to make the move around Michael Rogers in the Coors Light Shootout. And now Michael Rogers is going to be the one finishing behind him. As the checker flag waves in heat number 1, who makes the field? Harple will win. And let's see who else makes the field as the race is complete. Michael Rogers, Logan York, Nicholas Samudio, Colby Alves, Nico Tringali, Benjamin Dion, Torrey Travis, Peggy Bowling, Benjamin Tilton, Tony Green, Nathan Rogers, Zachary Rogers, Andrew Rich, and Michael Amato clinched themselves into the Daytona 500. Drivers that are not currently locked into the field, they'll have to go to the last chance qualifier. Those drivers are Greg Lyons, Edwin Mendez, Michael Beeson, Dylan Young, Peter Sands, Philip Goldberg, Allison Rogers, Brenda Rogers, Alan Cavanero, Jim Morton III, Ryan Shea, Eric Corrala, Austin Alves, Micah Kidney, and Tony Vieira. So with that said, we'll prepare you for the second heat as, whoa, Dion and Rogers wrecking it up a bit there at the end. But these guys will have separate cars for the 500, so it's not a big deal. So with that, I will see you guys for heat number 2. As the command is given to fire engines in heat number 2, we wait to see who the next 14 drivers will be to join the Daytona 500 field. So we know 15 drivers that will be in the field and 15 drivers that will be headed to the last chance qualifier. Now, just a little heads up I thought I should say before we go through the field is the 30 drivers that make their way into the field will qualify before the last chance qualifier, and that will decide starting positions 1 through 30. The top 12 field, 1st to 12th, will decide 31st to 42nd. With that said, let's go through the field for Heat 2. In Row 1, we got Philip Tringali and Kate Rogers. Row 2, Sam Rogers and May Ryder. Row 3 is John Linares and Kerry Davis. Row 4 is Peyton Goodwin and Michael Santos. Row 5 is Michael Cavanero and Michael Parker. Row 6, Nick Pericles and Mike Millen. That's row 6. So row 7 is Deanna Jones and Chloe Baker. Row 8 is Carol Morton and Scott Greeny. Row 9, James Morton and Steve Cavallo. Row 10 is Adam Rogers and Michael Naylor. Row 11, Zachary Fitzwater and Robert Rogers. Row 12 is Karen Vieira and Cameron Gaddu. Row 13 is Keith Rich and Brandon Mellon. Row 14, Kevin Peeler and Ace Rogers. And in row 15, Caleb Hoffman and Chris Corando. So as these drivers get ready for their Heat 1 went accident-free. So I'm hoping this heat will go accident-free too, as Philip Tringali with a freaking huge start. We saw Michael Beeson do the same thing. It looks like maybe Kate Rogers might be able to do what Colby Alves could not. And she will actually manage to get down, but Philip Tringali with a huge start. He'll be running this No Fear scheme for 30 races this season. As this line is running pretty good. As you see, Kate Rogers getting a good run. Will go immediately to the bottom. As they're 2 wide pretty much through the whole field. They're getting a little 3 wide-ish in the back. As we see the field start to separate a bit. And they're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Kerry Davis on the bottom, knowing that her teammate Edwin Mendez will be in the last chance qualifier. She would love to make the 500 so that she would not be fighting for a 500 spot with her teammate. As that was mostly done up this way for the heats, was that teammates would not be in the same heat. There would not be as many teammates in the same heat, so it would be more teams battling against other teams versus teammates against their own teammates. As Michael Santos takes the lead. Now, heats might change after so many races, who's in what heat, to make the competition bigger. But for the first few races, these are the heats you'll see your drivers in. As now Michael Parker looks to the inside of Michael Santos, who's going to run that Lone Star scheme for the 500. Parker to the inside would also love to make the race. You know, Parker's a great driver. In this field, who has won the 500 before, is Karen Vieira. She won the Season 3 and Season 4 Daytona 500s. Last season, we went to Talladega where Connor Breton won. You could technically say he won the 500, though it was the Kickstart 500. But Daytona winners, Benjamin Dion won the first one, then Steve Cavallo, who we actually see Cavallo peeking up on the inside here. As they're 3 wide in every row now. So Scott Greeny to the lead. They're 3 wide everywhere. And this could definitely play out where you finish. If you're in the middle line, you're not going to fall back that fast. If you're in the outside line, you have the best chance to get to the bottom. As right now, Cavallo to the lead. Adam Rogers behind him. You know, Adam Rogers has been flawless at Daytona the past couple of seasons. As now he will take the lead from Cavallo, as we're already halfway through this heat. The laps are flying by. And Brandon Mellon there in the 19 did not have a good run in the Coors Light last chance qualifier. He's looking to get some redemption here in this heat race. He would love to make the 500. His brother Andrew making the race. I know different last names. I don't really get it either. But he would love to make the race like his brother has. But you know it's tough. Keith Rich, the son of Andrew Rich, in the Home Depot 20 car here, also trying to get in the race. There's Kevin Peeler in the 57. That's a friend of Andrew Rich. A lot of new drivers this season, as we have 4 laps to go here at Daytona. And they are really 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide. We know they won't wreck unless somebody makes it 4 wide. They're doing a good job of keeping it 3 wide right now. And Keith Rich and Kevin Peeler to the bottom. And Peeler's going to make it 3 wide for the lead. And we talked about Karen Vieira being a 2-time Daytona 500 winner. Well, here she comes up to the front. Ace Rogers, son of Zachary Rogers. Zachary Rogers made the race in his heat. So Ace trying to do the same. He's in good position right now here with 3 laps to go. As now Ace will go to the bottom. And like I've said before, it's all about timing. Everybody's in the pack. You see the pole sitter, Philip Tringali, getting back to the bottom. And that could be a good thing for him. Oh, they're almost pushing 4 wide right there. As you see how many positions you gain fastly on the inside line. Philip, knowing he got the pole, he wants to get in the race. 2 laps to go here in this heat. And it's going to be 3 wide for that final transfer spot. As Sam Rogers leads, there's Nick Pericles in the 91 Dodge. And they are pulling away from the pack. There's Cameron Gaddu, last season's champion, trying to make the 500. He's in a good chance to do so. Oh, wow, they're almost 4 wide back there. Final lap here at Daytona in heat number 2. White flag is out. And I would say Sam Rogers and Nick Pericles are good to go. They are ahead of the pack. Very good shape for these guys. Deanna Jones is down low, 3 wide. Are they 3 wide for second is the question. Nope, Pericles is going to be able to block. And they've made it double wide mostly here, so they'll come to the checkered flag here to end heat number 2. Who is in? Who has to deal with the last chance qualifier? Sam Rogers wins the second heat. Everybody's across the line. Here are your results into the 500 is Sam Rogers, Nick Pericles, John Linares, Philip Tringali, Peyton Goodwin, Deanna Jones, May Ryder, James Morton, Michael Naylor, Michael Cavanero, forgot who's in the 22, Mike Mellon, Carol Morton, Ace Rogers, Robert Rogers, and Steve Cavallo will be in the Daytona 500. Going to the LCQ, we have Cameron Gaddu, Karen Vieira, Michael Santos, Chris Corando, Caleb Hoffman, Kevin Peeler, Adam Rogers, Michael Parker, Keith Rich, Scott Greeny, Brandon Mellon, Kate Rogers, Kelly Davis, Zachary Fitzwater, and Chloe Baker will be to the last chance qualifier. So with that, I'll see you guys next for Daytona 500 qualifying for the top 30 drivers, then the last chance qualifier.